Most of the U.S. casualties here in Iraq are caused by roadside bombs, or IEDs as they're known, improvised explosive devices. They're responsible for 80% of U.S. casualties. But another weapon is now taking more and more American lives. And as Lara Logan reports, it's almost impossible to defend against it.
What you're about to see in this Al Qaeda propaganda video is a brazen attack on U.S. soldiers with a hand grenade that's more deadly than any other. The explosion is huge as 3 of these armor-piercing bombs find their target. It's not a new weapon on the Iraqi battlefield, but CBS News has learned it's being used more now than ever. And for the first time, the Army has admitted this weapon is killing its soldiers. Captain Benjamin Jones led me to the place where he lost a young soldier to one of these hand grenades in June.
The vehicle is right there. They had thrown a grenade right over that wall.
Right over these barriers?
Right over that barrier.
21-year-old Private First Class Veach of Fort Carson's 2nd Brigade Warriors died after the explosive penetrated his armored vehicle in Baghdad's violent Dura neighborhood. So did Warriors Private Stephen Davis, less than 2 weeks later on the July 4th holiday, also in Dura, a key strategic area Al Qaeda desperately wants to take back from these soldiers. The terrorist group has been eager to take credit for the use of this lethal weapon. 3 months ago, their organization in Iraq announced the creation of a new thermal brigade and paraded these men in a video posted on the internet. They even used diagrams to show how this Russian-made weapon actually works. That matched military explanations obtained by CBS News. When the pin is pulled and the grenade is thrown, a small parachute is released. It stabilizes the grenade and ensures it comes down vertically on its target. The shape charge inside punches through the armor, and slow-burning explosives are released to ensure the deadliest effect. During the battle here in Dura, the Army says more and more of these hand grenades are being used. In firefights like this one that suddenly broke out during our visit there last week, it's yet another worry for the soldiers.
The attack was led off with by a catastrophic explosion.
Captain Jim Kearsey tells me armor-piercing hand grenades were used against his men on this street corner in a massive complex attack that killed 5 of his soldiers at the end of July.
Turned south down this road.
In another attack, Staff Sergeant Paul Crenshaw was almost killed just a few yards down the road when one of these grenades were thrown over this wall into his vehicle, wounding him and his gunner.
Anytime there was a crowd of people as we drove by over here, it could have been any one of them standing there just waiting for us to come by.
The soldiers say it's impossible to know when ordinary-looking civilians at the side of the road, like these men in the Al Qaeda video, will suddenly launch their deadly weapons. And that makes attacks like this just about impossible to stop. In this environment, winning over the population is critical for U.S. soldiers, so they can't treat ordinary civilians on the street with suspicion all the time. And that makes them especially vulnerable to this weapon. Katie?
And Lyra, I understand these weapons are dangerous not only for those who are targeted, but for those who are using them.
Well, as you can see in the video, the backblast is so huge that they start to run away as fast as they can. And they're not particularly accurate all the time, but they're cheap and they undermine the advantage the U.S. has in terms of high-tech weaponry and heavy armor. And that makes them very effective for insurgents.
Lara Logan. Lara, thank you so much.